Hello everybody, welcome back. Good evening. Bitcoin is still all the way up there at $111,649. It did slow down where we expected it to. We did not fully cross 112,000. We slowed down and our highest point was 111,000. Gotta get used to the big numbers now. 111,949 is what my provider tells me the highest point that we've reached. Hello, Bradley. Welcome to the stream. Our next target, of course, we know somewhere around the 115K. I'm not really looking at these targets because these can change, but to get a rough idea, if things do continue this weekend practically, because tomorrow's going to be Friday, it's not going to be that volatile due to the fact that we don't have much news. Saturday, we know how Saturdays are, typically very low volatility. And then we've got stuff like Sunday where Jerome Powell is going to speak. I don't know about what. Maybe could bring some volatility, but that's in the afternoon. Yes, Bradley, it is pizza day. You want me to buy... You know what? I don't know, man. If you send me your address, I probably still wouldn't buy you pizza. I'm not going to spend my Bitcoin on buying pizza. No way. Never spending my Bitcoin, honestly. I'm keeping that till I die. I'm going to be like Michael Saylor. He does have some comments about that, so I'll talk more about Bitcoin pizza later on in the stream. But yes, today is officially Bitcoin pizza day as well. I hope you guys had some pizza for dinner and paid for it with fiat money and not crypto, because Bitcoin go up forever. That's why. So many targets are at 122K. I have seen 120,000 mainly. And then my personal target, I'm looking at 135,000. That's where I'm expecting to consider start selling off making some profits from there. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch. Maybe I'll regret this. This is the vision that I have. This is the analysis that I have made. So I will follow through with that. I'll keep this ride going and see, as time goes on, if that is still a viable option. I still think it is. We have very strong fundamentals. Bitcoin deserves to be where it is right now. And what better way to, Bitcoin pizza day and Bitcoin is at all-time high levels. That's just fascinating, isn't it? All right. So, yeah, broke out of the previous... This is the previous all-time high. I should probably note this. I'll just write ATH so we know. It's obviously not our current all-time high. Current all-time high is almost 12,000. I do expect us to kind of correct, right? We are, first of all, overbought, right, in the RSI. We're kind of coming down from that right now. So I do think we will see some retracement up to where maybe 109K. Wouldn't surprise me if we see 107K once again. Bitcoin has been very volatile, and it has shown in this previous week, right? Last week. We've seen Bitcoin rise from, well, drop, I guess, from 106 almost down to 100K, right? Almost 101. We've seen like large volatility spikes like this, where it moves thousands of dollars within a matter of hours. So it wouldn't surprise me, like I said. I'm mainly expecting a drop because we had such a sharp upturn, and I'm not expecting much volatility in the upcoming days. Maybe some decay. I don't think we're going to immediately spike down, but anything can happen, honestly, especially today. Today is an important day as well for crypto because not only are people eating pizza, but it's also the top 240 Trump token holders are having a nice dinner with Donald Trump tonight as well, which I'll talk about later on. Justin Sun, founder of Tron, big supporter of Trump, big investor in Trump's projects. We've seen him invest in World Liberty Financial. You'll notice that they hold a lot of Ethereum, and they also hold a lot of Tron. Why Tron? Because Justin Sun, the CEO of Tron, obviously a huge contributor in that project. And obviously similar deal, he's the top holder of the Trump token. So yeah, there are some posts that we'll go over later on. Super trend, you'll notice it rose all the way up to here. Our invalidation zone is at 105,000 before we consider this uptrend broken, at least in the 4-hour chart. That's the way that I determine my trends with the super trend 5-5 period, right? So this is also looking very strong. This basically means in short term, We can drop to 105,000. We'll still be perfectly fine. I wouldn't consider us in a downtrend. We would have to break this downtrend. Well, sorry, we would have to break this support level, it would be, for us to be considered in a downtrend. From there, if this is the highest we'll go, then we're going to have to start drawing some downtrend lines from here. Although, in my opinion, I don't know, they would probably be a little steeper and easier to break. We do have longer-term uptrends as well, stemming from all the way over here, which I think the next time we're going to be touching this is by the time this cycle is over, because the recovery from here, I don't know if we'll be able to maintain this. We probably will, honestly. Because of M2 money supply, a lot of bullish factors as well. Everything is just coming up. It seems like it absolutely can. I don't even know, man. M2 supply also is just, it just keeps going higher. And it did predict this move, kind of, right? We were expecting to see a large move around sometime this week, near the end of the month, right, of May. We were expecting a large breakout toward the upside, and that precisely that happened. I don't have a comparison chart right now, but we did see that before in previous streams. So there you have that. Very good. Let's move on to other tokens. Ethereum is 2,654, up 2.29%, also continuing with the upward movement. We did break out of the resistance. I think this is from yesterday, and currently seeking the next level at 2,745, we'll call that. Our now support is this pivot level at 2,575. It's looking good for Ethereum, slowly trickling upwards. There are some other coins that are outpacing it. I saw a big movement from WorldCoin due to large investments happening in the United States from their part. SUI is the only coin that is down today due to a hack, which we'll explain in a bit later. I have a lot of posts that will detail that, so might be redundant, might repeat some information, but ultimately I will get the point across, and that is my goal. What else do we got? Solana is up 3.18%. Price is 181. It's looking to hit that next resistance at 185 approximately. The highest point that we reached from before 13th of May approximately. It's on its way up. It's still looking good. Super trend is looking like it'll reach the support level around 160. It's currently set at 162, but it's still pointing upwards. So I think it could reach 165 as our invalidation zone. Healthy uptrend for practically every coin. XRP $2.43. Still stuck there pretty much. Not a lot of movement from XRP. 0.83% up. Still slowing down at that pivot as its resistance at around 245. Still got to break out of that. Then we got a Fibonacci psychological level 250. And then the next resistance we're looking at is 265, we'll call this. I think we could agree on that. Then 270. Okay, so still a lot of room to run for XRP. Maybe it's still a good time to load up. Invalidation is at 227 support. So, yeah. I think if we do drop with XRP, could be a good chance for accumulation if we approach this area. 230 maybe, above 230. Or below 230, I should say, if you want to accumulate for longs. Now, let's talk about SUI here. It did rise until, obviously, event happened. It interrupted its way up to the 430 mark, which is where the level that I left it at yesterday. It did not reach it, unfortunately. Fundamentals got in the way, and it suffered an 11% drop from 419 to 372. It's recovered a little bit from there, and its current price is 382. Uptrend was not broken. The drop found support right from this uptrend, and we're still alive with SUI. So even though we got some bad fundamentals with SUI, it still manages to maintain its uptrend. I still think SUI is a strong project. They found some vulnerability. Hackers were able to exploit liquidity pool provider from SUI, so that's the reason why we suffer a drop today. We'll get into more details about that. Litecoin is at $100, finally, 42 cents. Slowing down a little bit. Of course, it's an important level 100 itself. We do need to break out above 101 to confirm continuation of the upside. We can reach 106 if it does break out of that. It's up 2.85%. Validation at $90. The support level down there. And Cardano is at 80 cents. It's also rising 4.16%. I'm happy to see Cardano rise. Finally, I had some positions in there. I mentioned it was at 75, 80, and I also had another trigger order ready at 70, which it did not hit. Well, it did hit, but I just didn't put it on time. It didn't drop further from there. Super trend is still heading upwards. Might seek this area over here, or maybe we chill out. I think we probably chill out over here around 74 cents in validation zone for that. The uptrend is looking great though for Cardano. And I also do have another position down over here, don't forget. So that one's absolutely in profit. I'm putting my targets in Cardano very aggressively at like $3 for now, because honestly, like if Cardano was able to rise that much back in 2021, it's not inflationary, is it? Let me check. Is there a max supply on Cardano is what I want to figure out. There is a max supply for Cardano. And in circulation, there's 35 billion Cardanos. Max supply is 45 billion. So it's not inflationary. Similar deal with XRP, right? I do think XRP has increased more than Cardano has, right? So I still think Cardano is one of the more undervalued tokens in this case. The project is good. Charles Hoskinson is involved with the US government. He will have his token be a part of the US Strategic Crypto Reserve if that ever does come into existence. With Senator Cynthia Lummis, it might. We also will be getting that Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas next week. Will be important to see if anything is mentioned there, although I think it will be mainly Bitcoin focused. Who knows? Maybe somebody will say something important, hopefully. JD Vance will be there. Surely something important gets mentioned. Anyways, so yes, Cardano I still think is undervalued. The fact that it's at 80 cents and it reached $3 back in 2021, it's got potential. Cardano has improved as well since then. Yeah. I mean, if you could look at that like for most tokens, right? Well, like Ethereum's case, we also reached like $4,000 with Ethereum being worse off, right? Right now, Ethereum is much better. There's improvements made to the blockchain. There's ETFs. ETF staking will be approved soon, hopefully. It's got a lot of potential still. I still think it is kind of undervalued, especially considering, you know, it's still under 3,000, right? I remember back when it was under 2,000, I was saying, this is painful to see for Ethereum, all this. And this drop over here was very uncalled for as well, 1,384. Everybody got liquidated. There's no amount of leverage that you could have used where you would not have gotten liquidated without maybe like even reinforcing your positions with margin. I personally still got very liquidated in Ethereum. But I've reloaded up here, and I'm on my, what do you call it? Build an arc, revenge arc, winter arc, whatever you want to call it. I'm making a comeback with Ethereum. Slowly but surely. So, yeah, that's what we got for your daily analysis, technical analysis. Let's go talk about some news as well here, because this does drive the markets. Trump will be coming to Canada. The U.S. White House has confirmed that Donald Trump will be attending the G7 summit in, I can't believe this is a real city, Kananaskis, Alberta, from June 15 to June 17. So still got over, well, less than a month until that happens. Seems like he's good buddies with Mark Carney now, the guy that was supposed to stand up against Trump. By the way, Mark Carney already removed reciprocal tariffs on most items. He's now saying that Canada is looking at participating in U.S. President Donald Trump's new Golden Dome missile defense program. The Golden Dome is basically Israel's Iron Dome, but in America. And that's something that Trump mentioned as well before, while he was rallying for president, saying stuff like, yeah, you know, Israel's got an Iron Dome. I think we should make one in the United States as well, because why do they have that technology and we don't, right? An anti-missile defense. So he planned to call it, of course, the Golden Dome, gold better than iron. So yeah, Canada might get involved in that as well. Mark Carney's chief of staff, though, Marco Mendicino, has decided to step down from the role. This guy's already losing cabinet member positions already. Well, anyway. President Donald Trump is also reportedly set to sign a series of executive orders as early as tomorrow, aimed at boosting nuclear power across the United States. Wonder what for. The orders are expected to ease regulations and streamline the approval process for new nuclear reactors. Okay, great. Can we mine Bitcoin with that? Just me. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. I don't know. Yeah, sure, it could replace fossil fuels and other stuff like that. I don't know much about energy, but yeah. Donald Trump also says that the USA is dominating in crypto, Bitcoin, etc., and we are going to keep it that way. He posted this on Truth Social as he was heading to the crypto dinner in Loudoun County, Virginia in a little while. If you want to see what it looks like, this is sort of what it looks like. Justin Tron shares a little sneak peek from the crypto dinner with the top Trump holders. And yeah, of course, he's very happy to be there. He gets involved too much is what a lot of people dislike him for. I don't know. He's a strange guy. But anyway. If you want to know more about, like, this is mainly European news, stuff that's happening. Romania's top court crushes Simeon's election fraud claims. Iran sends stark warning to the United Nations, saying that the U.S. is complicit if Israel hits nuclear sites. This is in response to, of course, Israel's threat to bomb Iranian nuclear sites, since they were not able to reach a deal, right? Israel's army launched a massive strike on southern and eastern Lebanon, IDF claiming they hit Hezbollah facilities, and bombings are still ongoing in the south. So it seems like that's still technically going on, right? Crypto doesn't care, though. Russian forces now solving task of creating buffer zone for Ukraine-Russia war. And they're saying it won't just be a demilitarized belt. It's about shielding Belgorod, Kursk, Bryansk, Crimea, Zaporozhye, Kherson, and Donbass regions from NATO artillery fire. So no signs of anything getting stopped for now, but it's still in the process of getting resolved, hopefully. All right. So the Cetus hack and with SUI. Why SUI dropped today. This is the reason why. Just to give you a preamble, a bit of an analogy. I like this one, so I'm going to share it. Imagine hacking a vending machine by tricking it to accept Monopoly money, then emptying it of real snacks. That's essentially what happened to Cetus protocol. So they use spoof tokens to drain its liquidity pools of real assets. The attacker fed it worthless fake tokens. I don't know how you could do that. Broken price logic mistakenly gave them real value. That's the foundation's fault, I guess. While flawed reserve calculations treated them as legitimate deposits. When the attacker withdrew, the decentralized exchange handed over real tokens like SUI and USDC. That's not good. They're saying that $160 million of the $220 million that was stolen has now been frozen and will be restored to Cetus pools. Great, but sucks to see this happen, of course. So this is the biggest liquidity pool provider on SUI network that was hacked. A total of $200 million has been drained from the ecosystem. Here's a little thread as what happened. Cetus protocol, the main liquidity pool on SUI network, was exploited and over $200 million in liquidity got drained. The attacker took full control of SUI-based pools and started emptying them non-stop. I heard that they transferred it to Ethereum and were trying to cash out that way or something like that. What is this? Oh, Cetus team says this wasn't a hack. According to the first statement on Discord, they found a bug in the Oracle saying, please remain calm. The team is working on fixing the issue. Initial reports say that more than $200 million in liquidity could be gone. The exploiter is bridging out USDC in batches of roughly $1 million each. The SUI USDC pool lost $11 million. Tokens paired with SUI are collapsing, most down 70 to 90%. That is interesting, and I wonder which ones those are. I don't know how I could check. Like these are Solana coins, Binance coins. Is there a SUI coin in a category? Hopefully, maybe. Solana ecosystem, SUI. Can I control F, SUI? 1. SUI ecosystem, yes. Oh, yeah, okay. Cetus protocol itself down 27%, probably recovered by now. Lo-Fi down 13, SUI name service 10% down. Bluefin is up 22%, what? Navi protocol 11% down. P-Stake Finance 29% down. Out of the major ones. Chirp is up 24%. Toilet Dust, I'm assuming, is this a meme coin or what? Yeah, it's entertainment or speculation, jokes. So some of them are meme coins. This is down 99%. That is crazy. I think this one might have absolutely been affected. Just look at that. Unless this is a rug pull, it's likely from the hack. Yeah, using Cetus to seamlessly obtain Axel, leveraging his ecosystem on SUI. Yeah, you're going to notice a lot of these tokens are heavily down. Some of them are up for some reason. Probably the ones that survived or don't use Cetus. Interesting. All right. What else happened? Now it looks like the exploiter is trying to turn the stolen funds into Ethereum and launder it through Tornado Cash. Tornado Cash, good for money laundering. Keep that in mind. While we wait for more updates on what's going on, it's important to note this is not a hack on SUI's network. The issue is isolated to only Cetus Protocol, the liquidity pool provider. The team is working with Miston Labs to fix the problem and share more details soon. The official message from SUI Network team members is clear, saying that stay calm, avoid spreading FUD without reason, and that'll be all that it is. Here's an update here. They confirmed that the attacker drained approximately $223 million liquidity pools. They froze $162 million. Cetus is now working closely with the SUI Foundation and other ecosystem players to recover the rest. So they're working on it. Remain calm. They lost over $260 million. Hackers converting stolen funds into USDC, cross-chaining to Ethereum to exchange for Ethereum with 60 million USDC already cross-chained. Yeah, they're working hard, or hardly working. Major liquidity provider was hacked. $11 million, and SUI was drained. This also explains part of the drop on SUI, like a sell-off of $11 million gone, right? Part of the explanation as to why it's down, right? Also, it's just a hit to their confidentiality, their reliability, their trust, right? People are like, oh, SUI network equals hack, sell, and that's all they think about. But they're working on fixing it. Yeah, I've read this like 5 times now. Okay. And of course, Zach XBT, the guy who's supposed to help in these scenarios whenever there's some sort of a hack or something. This is the guy that usually figures things out. Very closely tied with Arkham, I'm pretty sure. He said that he won't help Cetus Protocol with the situation. Why? He says that I do not help the SUI project as no one in that ecosystem supports me. Interesting. I have told the Foundation multiple times to invest in decent analytics tools. TRM, Etherscan, Block Explorer, etc. And little progress has been made. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to help. They didn't implement these kind of stuff. Like, this is what he uses to, like, track stolen wallets, addresses, hacks, stuff like that. Interesting. All right, well, yeah, he just doesn't want to help. Fair enough, I guess. And that's that. That's the SUI story. Arthur Hayes, you guys remember this guy, CEO of some company? Arthur Hayes. Entrepreneur. Yeah, of what company? Is it Hyperliquid? No. Co-founder of MEXC? Is it MEXC, I think? BitMEX. Okay, that's what it is. It's another exchange. He sees Bitcoin hitting $200,000 this year. Something that I've mentioned before. Other analysts are seeing this as well. It's not just me. It's not just a couple of guys. These are top people, right? And, wow, okay, I think this is an exaggeration, maybe. $1 million by 2028. That's going to be the next 4-year cycle. I don't think 100 million. Maybe, like, 400,000, 500,000 by 2028, the next cycle. I'm expecting, like, Bitcoin $1 million by 2030s, right? Sure, a little close enough, but who knows? Who really knows? Maybe like I could be blown away, right? The adoption rate could just skyrocket. Every country will start wanting Bitcoin. It's going to become a huge race. I'm scared, man. What do I sell my Bitcoin or not? It's scary. Ethereum will outperform Solana. Interesting. And alt season will start above 110,000. Well, we are there. And when alt season? I think Ethereum 4,000 first so that alt season can start. Then we'll see Solana 300 again. Then we'll see XRP maybe $3 again. No, $4 probably XRP. Yeah, by then it's officially on, right? SUI $5, Litecoin 140, 150, Cardano hopefully over $1. Obviously over $1 by then. Who knows? What was the highest point Cardano? Like $1.30 this current cycle. 117. Yeah, 117. Who knows? We shall see. Wait, we hit higher in... Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. 132, yes, I was right. And we don't have history from... Oh, yeah, we do. Okay, March was not that high. It was 80 itself. That's currently where we are right now. Interesting. This is crazy skyrocketing growth. I mean, sometimes you will see just Cardano explode like this. This is due to the strategic crypto reserve announcement. You could also see huge drops, though, so, you know. It's usually pretty flat until it's not. Like, something explosive happens with Cardano. Who knows? Jamie Dimon, who really cares what this guy has to say, but he says that he's not a fan of Bitcoin. This is the CEO of JP Morgan. But, and people were suspecting him at first, right? They were like, okay, you say you're not a fan of Bitcoin, you hate Bitcoin, you don't like Bitcoin, you'll never buy Bitcoin. But we notice your bank is loading up on Bitcoin. JP Morgan is buying Bitcoin sometimes, right? Or they're offering to their customers to buy Bitcoin through them. So it's like, what's going on? Ask him what's going on. Then this is his response, right? He gave an analogy of smoking, right? Like, I don't think you should smoke, but I defend your right to smoke. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? I defend your right to buy Bitcoin. Go at it. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to buy it, but he will allow you to buy it if you really want to. All right. Well, thanks, I guess. It's good still, you know, institutional adoption. Whether or not the CEO himself will like, CEOs will pass on and we'll get newer, younger, brighter people who are more in touch with technology and will understand the power of Bitcoin. We already see this going on in the United States. There's more people that hold Bitcoin than physical gold, right? And it's mainly the younger people, the younger generation, because they're more in touch with technology. That's at least what I think. To scale Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin proposes partially stateless nodes, which could increase gas limits by 10 to 100x and lower full node storage requirements. Increase gas limits. Okay. That should allow... Okay, I need an explanation. I'm assuming this means it should allow more transactions to go through without congestion, which means lower fees, right? Not a lot of network traffic. That's just what I'm thinking. This allows users to verify blockchain data without storing the entire state, which could reduce storage needs and enable a 10 to 100x gas limit increase, as reported by Cointelegraph. This approach aims to maintain Ethereum's decentralization and privacy, addressing concerns about centralized RPC providers like Infura, which have been criticized for imposing rate limits and risking network control, as discussed in 2021. The proposal builds on Ethereum's scaling efforts, such as rollups, which Buterin previously touted for a 100x throughout boost in 2021, but faces challenges like balancing node accessibility with network growth, especially as competitors like Solana. Okay, alright. Yeah, well, it's supposed to improve. That's good. We also have this going on, of course. We saw a lot of this happen in France. Significant number of crypto millionaires are now hiring private security to guard against kidnappings and physical threats, because that's the point where it's gotten to at this, you know, it's getting crazy. So if you're a crypto millionaire, you might as well start buying security, right? And don't go to France. Germany. Remember they sold 50,000 Bitcoin at 55,000 approximately average price? Well, since then, Bitcoin is up 100% to 110,000. They missed out on $2.8 billion in profit if they just held for less than one more year, right? It was around August that they were selling off. We're in May. So, yeah, I mean, HFSP. And today, of course, here it is, Bitcoin Pizza Day. 15 years ago, Laszlo Hanyes, if you don't know about the story, he's a Floridian programmer. Mined a Bitcoin very back early in the day. 15 years ago, man. This was 2010. He bought 2 Papa John's pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. Today, those pizzas would be valued at over $1 billion. Oh, if he just held for 15 years, he'd be a billionaire, and, yeah. That's why you never buy stuff with Bitcoin, in my opinion. Pay for it with US dollars, right? With fiat currency. Things that are worthless. We know how worthless fiat currency is. To the point where the US will stop making pennies starting next year. And that's that. That's all the news that I have for today. All right. Before I actually end, I want to check a couple things. Liquidation heat map and ETF flows. Do we have new shorts forming? Probably. Yes, we do already. People are trying to outsmart the market here. 47, 40 million, 70 million, a couple times. Yeah, a couple $1 million looking to get liquidated up there. Is that tea? How did you know I'm drinking tea? Yes, I am drinking tea. Don't ask me what kind. I have no idea what's in this. Could be poison. ETF inflows. As of this week. This is crazy. 600 million, 300 million, another 600 million. So far today, 57 million, but that's because BlackRock has not purchased or has not disclosed their purchases yet. But it's obviously looking like it's going to be a couple $100 million. Oh, you're behind me. Oh, all right. Yeah. It's too dark outside. I can't see. Yeah, this week has been pretty cold, man. I'm scared. All right. And for Ethereum, I'm not expecting much. Yeah, 20 million, 13 million, 64 million. What is this? $600,000? That's pretty weak demand. Hey, today though we got 100 million inflow. That's not bad. Overall, 2 billion inflows. Look at these dudes. Grayscale selling $4 billion. BlackRock buying up that $4 billion. So it's literally up to the rest. Fidelity, ARK, who else? Bitwise, 21 shares, Vanek, Invesco, Franklin, and that's it. This other Grayscale trust. Nice. What else? Yeah, I think that's all, honestly. We're still above Amazon, I'm pretty sure, in market cap. Bitcoin. Oh, this number dropped, huh? 2.2 trillion. Amazon, 2.1 trillion. Okay, we're still above Amazon, but barely. Like, $100 billion away. Alright. And, oh yeah, also top gainers. I was shorting WorldCoin, and it rose a lot. I shorted it after it rose, but it kept on rising against me. So I'm currently in L profit. But, you know, it'll drop eventually. It can't go up forever. Same thing with WIF. It was rising a lot, but today it just continued. So, still waiting on that too. Oh my god, 128. I think I'm cooked. I entered at 115 for a short. I'm expecting 109 as a take profit. Yeah, I think it's over for WIF. Of course, meme coins as well rising. Yeah. I'm kind of hoping for a red day eventually. SUI among top losers with only a 2% drop. That's not that great. I mean, it's not that, you know, volatile. considering the fact that it got hacked. Well, what is it called? Cetus program got hacked. Monero's crashing 4%. It was doing really good yesterday. Huge rise. This right over here, and now it's coming back down. Should have shorted Monero instead. It was looking good. I didn't want to. 81 Cardano. Okay, things are rising. Nice. Okay, that'll be all then for today. I'll end the stream here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for 400 subscribers once again. I will see you tomorrow, and yeah. I don't think we're getting anything important tomorrow. Sunday, just look out for